Shalom, family. Good to see you all here. Hope you're doing well. Well, if you weren't here on my last live, I gave everybody a sneak peek of the Botana Oil shampoo. Here it is. And this will be coming out on my anniversary, my second anniversary, which is in May. And right now I'm working on, I got the shampoo made. I just have to get everything in bottles now. So that's what I'm working on. But this is what it's going to look like. Very pretty. It's in a purple bottle. And the label is actually two colors, but it looks like, a green label, but it's actually purple and green. So this is what's coming. So don't forget to pick up your hair products, y'all. Make sure you use the discount codes. Okay. Now, we're going to talk about something that happened and had a lot of people laughing online. They had the Delaware Marathon, I believe this past Sunday. And this white guy was leading, and he was leading by a big stretch. Well, he broke the golden rule. Now, many of you, if you were track and field in high school and junior high school, they tell you don't celebrate until you cross that line. So never celebrate prior to, because it can always be an upset. Well, he broke that golden rule, y'all. He broke that golden rule. And he started celebrating before he reached the finish line. And I'm telling you, this brother must have had the gene of Yahweh in him, because he was far back. He was able to run so fast. Not only did he catch up to this white guy, he passed him and hit the finish line first. You should have seen the look on that white man's face. I tell you what, he was saying the N word inside his head. It was funny. And our people are all over the internet laughing. I said, you know what? That finish is going to be studied for years. That man came out of nowhere. He was far, far behind, and he was able to cover all that ground in a short period of time and pass the white guy that was celebrating before he hit the finish line. And y'all, this has happened in sports. I'm going to show you another clip in here of women. It was two white women about to hit the finish line, and this melanated woman came and she passed both of them and hit the finish line before both of them. So our people can do that mess for real. So y'all, let's go ahead and check this out. Every now and then it does help to laugh. We do so many serious stories every day. All right. So, yes, this dude was devastated. So, yeah, he just knew he was going to win. The white guy is shirtless with just black shorts on. And the brother right here, he got on like a black tank top and black shorts. And he just sailed right. He was so close to that finish line. He just passed him and hit that finish line first. He didn't even know he was behind him. Okay? He had no idea this brother was behind him. He was so confident that he won the race, and people were screaming at him, that somebody was there. He thought, I think this is what this white guy thought. He thought the crowd was cheering him. And they were actually yelling out, hey, there's somebody right there. Ooh, this was so good. This was so good. All right, y'all. Thank you for the ones. Let's get started. Y'all, I think what made me laugh was that brother that was yelling, "Get him, get him, get him." And then when he hit that finish line before that white dude, you saw the white dude put his fist up in the air. He just knew he had this race, right? That brother just sailed right past him and hit that finish line first. See, y'all, he had to win. You know why? His name was Joshua Johnson. Joshua, a biblical name. You knew that brother was going to win. Come on. Come on. They do interview this white dude. He was, oh man, he looked so sad. he just knew he had his fist up in the air like, I got this, I got this. And he had no idea that brother was right there on his ass.
Catch him! Get 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 him!
Yeah, there were people online saying, "Oh, he stole the race." No, he didn't. He won that race fair and square. He didn't cheat. He won that race fair and square. He just caught up to that guy just before he was able to reach the finish line. He didn't cheat. He won it fair and square.
What a dramatic end to the Delaware Marathon, proving, it ain't over till it's over. Joshua Jackson is the man in the black shirt sprinting there. The leader really didn't turn his head to see Jackson gaining all the way to the tape. The Pottstown, PA native officially won by 2.
And that is exactly why you need to go hard into the finish line. This man thought he had it in the bag. He's doing it. Oh yeah. Okay. He's already thinking, how am I gonna do this medal? How is he gonna celebrate? He was like thinking, oh, everybody's gonna talk about me and getting first place. Like, ooh, I can't wait for my Facebook post, my Instagram post. Like everybody is gonna be loving.
Y'all, when I went to school, y'all remember Carl Lewis? Well, his father was the track coach at my school. And in fact, his whole family were in the Olympics. His mother ran in the Olympics. His father ran in the Olympics, Carl Lewis and his sister Carol. Well, anyway, if you had a good coach, your coach will always tell you, you never celebrate until after you get past that finish line. If you want to jump for joy, then you can jump for joy, but don't ever celebrate before you hit that finish line, because there can always be an upset. There could be somebody there that you didn't see, which clearly this white guy, he just pumped his fist up in the air like he had it. And he actually, if when you look at it, he actually starts slowing down before he got across the line. But hey, you know what? That's his problem. That brother won. That's his problem.
And this, and guess what? Here comes him. Ooh, I'm gonna get him. I'm gonna get him. He just started running, gunning, and you lost by like 2 or 3 steps, all because you wanted to have your little victory lap. Oh my God. And you know he's gonna be sick to his stomach, because when's the next time it's gonna be a marathon like that? And if it is, are you gonna be in front or something like that? Like, that might have been his only marathon win in his life, and he just fumbled it away. Like, this is why you got to go hard to the finish. It's a marathon, not a sprint.
That black man that won the Delaware Marathon, y'all, is epic. So y'all know the white guy, he was in the lead, y'all. He was literally like 2 seconds, literally, from crossing the finish line. Baby Joshua Jackson said, "Not today." Not today, baby. Joshua Jackson passed that man up so quick. The man was already celebrating as he was reaching the finish line. He didn't know Joshua was that close behind him. The people was cheering Joshua on, cheering him on. The man never looked back not one time. He kept going. When I tell you Joshua sped past him and finished that race first, they say the man was he was trying to put on a brave face after the race, but he told his close family and friends he was devastated because he worked so hard for it. Listen, y'all, when I saw that, all I thought was a metaphor for life. And it literally just means you cannot celebrate winning until you finish, until you actually win. Because just that quick, you could lose. Ooh. Get him! 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 Get him!
We have a white man who is about to win a race. He almost got to the end of the race. The ribbon was almost his. The award was almost his, but he got comfortable. He got so comfortable, he slowed down and started looking at his watch because he just assumed that he was going to be the winner of the race. And then all of a sudden, there was a black man. Hats, 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 hats. Started catching up. Hats, 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 hats. Eventually, that black man who was way back there caught up to the white man who just assumed that he was going to be the winner, still looking at his watch, didn't cross the line yet. That black man beat him. That black man surpassed him. And he actually won the race by 2 seconds. Do you want to know what all the major outlets are talking about today? How did the white man lose? Here are the thoughts from the white man who lost. How does it feel, you being a white man losing? Notice I did not say, let's talk to the black man who was able to win the race. Let's talk to the black man that hats, 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 and caught up. Let's talk to the winner. No, we would rather hear from the loser. How does it feel losing? Because you, as a white man, it should have been yours. And that's what white supremacy is. That's what white privilege is. There's this default that should have gone to the white man. And if it doesn't go to the white man, what went wrong? In an astounding, well deserved win, Joshua Jackson was able to win the Delaware Marathon as he blazed past a runner that was prematurely celebrating instead of focusing on crossing the finish line before he celebrated. I think he beat him by like 0.02 seconds or something like that. And you can tell that the wife or girl from the side was mortified, like, instead of yelling, like, run, you better keep running. He probably couldn't hear him over the noise of all the other spectators and things like that. I don't know, but this is my thing. Instead of the headlines reading something like "What an amazing comeback win for Joshua Jackson," it was like, "Oh, what an upset at the finish line! What a devastating loss for the other runner, whatever his name was." I still don't even know because I didn't make it my business to know. I wanted to know about the astounding winner of the Delaware Marathon that did it. And like I said, coming back amidst, which was definitely not expected. And so coming once again, because we know that it happened again just a few weeks ago with another runner. And then I saw another man that beat like he was, I don't know, he was wearing purple. I don't know which marathon that was, but he made sure that he was celebrating prematurely, but he looked back over his shoulders to ensure that there was nobody coming. I'm like, okay, I see they learning, but it really made me peeved me off a little bit more than normal about the fact of how they did Joshua Jackson's win. I think that he, should have been the spotlight. He should have been the winner, and the titles and the headlines should have read a lot differently. And I'm pretty sure we all know, because of the fact that he blazed past a white man who they were expecting to win and did not, that's why he didn't get the recognition that he should have in the beginning, because they wouldn't have done that to any other runner. They, instead of making the loser's name and putting his name in the headlines, they are putting, Joshua Jackson, burying him down into the articles. That's very unfair. Congratulations, Joshua Jackson. You deserve the win.
Go Josh! Go Josh! Go Josh! Go Josh! Go Josh! Joshua Jackson!
So that was 24-year-old Carson Mello in the Delaware Marathon last week in the final stretch of the race. And just as he slows down, throws his hands up in celebration, 24-year-old Joshua Jackson sprints right by him and wins the race in the final moment. A 26.2-mile race that takes a huge amount of training to prepare for, and you decide to celebrate too early. And listen, this is like that turtle rabbit lesson in real time. Carson is like the rabbit that got too comfortable before the finish line, and Joshua is like the turtle that stayed locked in until the very end. And that's why premature celebration kills success much more than failure ever will. I mean, this is literally a metaphor for life, y'all. Stay locked in until the finish, no matter what. All right, love y'all. Bye.
A Delaware Marathon runner might have suffered the loss of the century by celebrating too early, only to get passed at the finish line.
The man who lost the Delaware Marathon has spoken out about how he felt about losing. The Delaware Marathon Running Festival ended in total shock this past Sunday when a runner was passed in the final moments. A man named Carson was only steps away from winning the marathon and was seen jogging towards the line with his arms raised in victory. While he was focused on his celebration, he did not realize that another runner was closing in very fast from about 50 yards behind. Joshua Jackson had picked up his speed and was surging towards the finish while the crowd screamed with excitement. Just as Carson reached the line, he was passed at the very last second by Joshua, who remained laser focused. Joshua finished with a time which was only 2 seconds faster than Carson. Now we found out how Carson feels. One source said the loser was seen being very upset afterwards. He worked so hard for this. He wanted it more than anything. He tried to put on a brave face, but ultimately he told his close ones that he was devastated. It is clear that Carson put everything into this race, and having the victory taken away so close to finish has been extremely difficult. The video of the moment has gotten a lot of attention across social media, with thousands of people sharing the clip of the unexpected finish. But before you go, I want to know, how would you feel if you were him?
Thanks for watching. Please like, share, comment, and follow us for more content like this.
Have you guys seen this? This is a race, I believe, in Delaware, and the one guy in the back was so far behind, and yet the guy in front of him was cheering, waving his arms in the air, thinking that he won. And I was like, I need to see multiple angles of this because I need to see his reaction after he found out that he lost. But this is what I remember learning when I was super young and we were taking the physical fitness test and I had to run the mile. You do not stop. If you see someone, do not allow someone else to pass you. This guy was too worried about trying to stop his Strava, his watch, or whatever, cheering himself on instead of actually, finishing the race. And if you ever ran a race, a marathon, a 5K, or whatever, or run down the street and back, you do not stop. You keep pushing. You do not slow down when you get to the finish line. No, 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 no. You have to put in the extra energy in those last few steps. And that's exactly the thing that this man did. He put in those extra steps when he saw that he could close in. He closed in, I believe it was like 0.02 seconds difference between their two times. Again, you got to have that dog in you when you are finishing up a race. You cannot slow down. You cannot think that there's no one behind you because there's someone can be behind you. And as he saw, it happened. And it's the fact that not too long ago, we already saw the other race where the man who went the wrong way had to go back around. I believe that was LA or California. You did not remember that? That was like 3 weeks ago. You should have been on your P's and Q's and like, let me finish strong. You have to always remember to finish strong. He did not finish strong, which is why he ended up losing the marathon. And I guess the marathon is not like a race, but the fact that you could have been the first finisher and end up becoming second because you decided to take your time, you're cheering yourself on, you're stopping and look at
You know what? I know this brother means well. We don't want to give them advice. Okay. We don't want to give them advice. We know what to do. We know if you went to school and you had your gym teacher was your track coach and all that stuff, you always try to put on your fastest speed towards the end, even if you don't start the fastest. But we ain't trying to teach them nothing. No, let them all get close to the finish line and look at their watch and pump their fist up in the air. Yeah, that's what we want y'all to do. Y'all keep doing that. Y'all keep doing that. We ain't got to teach y'all nothing. We know what to do.
your watch. That's not what you do when you get to the finals, to the finish, the final seconds. You got to put in the extra and go off. And he did the exact opposite of that. He slowed down, and that's why he lost the race. And again, this happened weeks ago. Why are we not learn from mistakes of other runners? Why?
The man who lost the Delaware Marathon has spoken out about how he felt about losing. The Delaware Marathon Running Festival ended in total shock this past Sunday when a runner was passed in the final moments. A man named Carson was only steps away from winning the marathon and was seen jogging towards the line with his arms raised in victory. While he was focused on his celebration, he did not realize that another runner was closing in very fast from about 50 yards behind. Joshua Jackson had picked up his speed and was surging towards the finish while the crowd screamed with excitement. Just as Carson reached the line, he was passed at the very last second by Joshua, who remained laser focused. Joshua finished with a time which was only 2 seconds faster than Carson. Now we found out how Carson feels. One source said the loser was seen being very upset afterwards. He worked so hard for this. He wanted it more than anything. He tried to put on a brave face, but ultimately he told his close ones that he was devastated. It is clear that Carson put everything into this race, and having the victory taken away so close to finish has been extremely difficult. The video of the moment has gotten a lot of attention across social media, with thousands of people sharing the clip of the unexpected finish.
Whatever. I don't care about Carson Mello. Congratulations, Joshua Johnson. That was a hell of a race. He ran over 26 miles and he had enough energy to run like hell in that last stretch and pass that white dude, man. He had enough. That is a long race. That's one thing I like about the races up here, because you'll see a lot of our people in there. When I was a child, you would just see mostly a bunch of white folks doing these marathons in the States. But now when you look at these marathons, a lot of our people, men and women, be in on these races. And to me, it makes it a lot more interesting. So anyway, y'all, I knew you would enjoy this one. I got a kick out of this one. I saw it last night. I saw this last night, and man, I was rolling when he went past that guy. And I think the one guy that was yelling at him, and when he started laughing at the end when he passed that guy, it made me laugh. It made me laugh. Woo! My goodness. Okay, Jackson. But congratulations, brother. I mean, you definitely gonna have to show your kids and grandkids that race, because that was a hell of a race. That was a hell of a race. So, y'all, thank you for being here. I do got another one that I'm putting together. I might not be back until like about 5:45 or even 6:45. And it's on qualified immunity. Qualified immunity is in court in Ohio. And, they're bracing themselves to see if they will win or lose on this court case to take qualified immunity away from the cops, because this case can really set a real precedence in the country, which means if Ohio can take it away from cops, you're going to see other states taking on this same fight. So it's really interesting. So we'll be doing that a little later. So be on the lookout for my live stream. And Gigi 6883, thank you for the super sticker and your support from my channel. Thank you so much. Shalom, family.